What's going on, guys? I think we've had plenty of crazy content this last week. We're going to switch gears a little bit today. We are going to do a full day of carnivore lifestyle. Basically, what I eat, I'm going to film a workout, and any other little odds and ends that pop up. Basically, just like the whole system. I'm going to introduce you guys to my system that I use to get good results. I'm very happy with how things are working. I do feel like all of us carnivores that are out there on YouTube have a little bit different skill set to offer, and I think really where mine comes into play is sort of like the overall balance. That's the way that I like to design my life, and I want to share that with you guys. So let's get started. Always gotta go coffee first. Alright, so basically I wake up, I grab my coffee. First thing that I do is I head to the bathroom. I usually go pee. If I have to do anything else, I do that. I like to weigh myself immediately afterwards with just my boxers on, basically getting a base level dry weight for the day. I do this every single day. I have no aversion to weighing myself, which I think that a lot of people do. It's just a number on the scale, guys. It's just information. There should be nothing personal taken from whether the scale is going up or down. It's just feedback information. Alright, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what we're working with here, there is no pump, no nothing. I just woke up a little bit ago. This is how we look every day now in the morning, alright? I didn't get to work out as much as I wanted to last week. I'm happy with the weight that you just saw on the scale, 147.8. That's pretty good. I was sick last week. We had some crazy pollen roll through here in California, and I have been really weirdly sick. So today I'm actually feeling amazing. I plan to go back to get a good workout in. I'm hoping that I match the performance of my previous best, and we're gonna go from there. Alright guys, so it's about 12 noon. This is when I like to start to work out in the daytime. I'm still fasted for the day, just so you know. I plan to eat after the workout. I'm gonna do a little walk. It's a really nice, beautiful, hot, sunny day today in Southern California. And feeling good, starting to get a little bit hungry. I've been eating a little bit more carbs. I can get more into those nuanced details later in this video or maybe another time. But yeah, basically I'm gonna work out. I typically spend about an hour doing that. I work out exclusively from home. This is also part of what I think makes my program or my system kind of special, is that it requires almost no gym equipment. You're gonna see exactly what I do. I'll splice it in, I'll make it quick, and then we'll get to the walk afterwards and I'll kind of sum things up for you. Alright guys, and now here you have it. This is more of a pumped version of the body. You know, we're mid-workout right now. Everything's swollen up. I got some carbs in me past couple days. You know, things are filling out. Remember, this is about 3 months progress, a little over 3 months, 3 months and a week of, you know, working out in the gym here 4 or 5 times a week. This is what makes my approach a little different. There's a few nuances to it, like I'm saying, but yeah, this is something I think everybody could do. You can lean out, you can gain a little size, and it's kind of fun, you know? And I want the lean physique, man. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with this. It's starting to come in. Could be a few more months. We'll keep updating. So I'm not gonna film the rest of the workout. This is boring, basic leg stuff. I don't want to give it all away anyway, and I'll be with you in a minute. What are you doing, Broly? What are you doing? Okay, nothing. All right, that's cool. Let's get this baby fired up. Ghetto. Woo! All right, guys, we're back. All right, so as I stated earlier, we're going for a walk. Why are we going for a walk? Well, let's talk a little bit about nitty-gritty details of cutting, all right? So here's the cold truth that a lot of people don't want to hear. You got the high-carb vegans that think that you can eat unlimited fucking calories, especially unlimited carbohydrates, and never gain an ounce of fat, and you're just gonna be super shredded lean with all kinds of muscle mass. They're wrong. They're just flat out wrong. Look to the bodybuilders if you want to talk about aesthetic manipulation of the body, maintaining a massive amount of muscle, and also being very lean. Trust me, guys, they've been doing this stuff since the freaking 40s. If they would have found a way to do it on high carb, low fat, low protein, they would have already found it, right? They're willing to do whatever it takes, whatever it takes. So all we can hope to do as low carbers or high carnivores is basically manipulate the system to give us the best results for the minimum amount of effort, if that's what we're hoping for. You got guys like, you know, any bodybuilder, vegan bodybuilder or carnivore bodybuilder, it doesn't really matter, who looks like a damn bodybuilder. You know, let's say Bobby's Perspective or something like that. These guys live a bodybuilding lifestyle and they put in the work and they get that result. And if that's what you want to do, if that's your goal, hobby, passion, all that, man, go for it. That's awesome. For me, I like to balance things a little bit more. Not saying that those are bad hobbies, it's just not what I'm totally interested in. Personally, my system right now is basically 4 to 5 workouts a week. I work out at home. The workouts are 1 hour flat, including warm-up. So we're talking 4.5 hours a week. That's not bad for what I've been getting. And I have a lot more to go, And that's the thing is, you got to find a system that works for you that you can stay consistent on, because that's going to be the most important thing. There's so many nuances to it, like I keep saying. I'm just giving you guys like the end result, basically. You know, as if you were to put in like, you know, a huge equation into a calculator, and then you come out of the calculator with the final number, you know, and the teacher's like, show me your work. Well, you know, the work is in the details, and I'm happy to share that with people, but it's not something I can give away in one video, even if I wanted to. So let's talk about the final stages of cutting. This is a very interesting concept and something that I'm currently going through. For a while, I was basically eating as much meat as I could and as much milk as I could, and I found the point to where I was actually really starting to put on size rapidly, muscle and power, and I was super stoked to find that. But I realized that if I maintained that, I wouldn't have lost that last little bit of fat. And I'm gonna throw up some pictures to give you guys an idea of where I was when I started this cut. It's not an extreme cut. We're talking maybe, you know, let's say 200 calories off of each meal. So I was still left very satisfied. Still had my performance. I wasn't losing any type of muscle mass while I was doing this cut. I was losing fat almost exclusively. Keep in mind, I'm intermittent fasting this whole time, and I'm eating very low carb. So the results were maintaining performance, losing fat. That's exactly what I wanted. And that's what I got, down to around 145 pounds, which is where I'm at now. So this is what happens. I'm down at the bottom of my cut, and I don't really have any more calories left to cut out of the diet. If I eat any less, I'm gonna be left quite unsatisfied, and it's gonna start becoming pretty hard to maintain my my performance, which I don't wanna lose an ounce of performance. And I'm left to do one option, which is light cardio, light intensity cardio. So I'm gonna have to start throwing in maybe 20-minute, 30-minute walks a day. The grill's heating up at home anyways, so I'm just gonna let that thing get warm. And I got nothing better to do while waiting around for that thing than go throw on a walk, catch a tan, talk to you guys a little bit more about the details, right? So, yeah, the goal is just to burn a couple hundred calories additionally on top of what I already burned during my workout. And it's noticeable. When you do this, it's very noticeable. And the cool thing about low intensity cardio, fasted low intensity cardio, which is what I'm doing right now, you know, it's about 1:30. I haven't eaten anything for the day, just water, which I'm going to talk about water in a moment. Yeah, it's just coming straight off the fat, man. And it's very noticeable. Like, I hate to sound like I'm just placeboing myself, but yeah, I mean, towards the end of the day, if you throw in a workout fasted, a low intensity cardio fasted, I mean, you could literally pinch your lower belly fat, and it's pretty noticeable that it's going down day by day, actually. And that's the thing is, once you get down to around, I don't really know what I'm at, but maybe 10 to 12% right now, conservatively. Yeah, it's getting stubborn. So I'm gonna have to do this, and it doesn't really make me any hungrier, so I can maintain the same amount of calories and protein, all the macros and everything as I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, which I'm happy with, but not stimulating additional appetite and just sucking out that last little bit of fat. So that's pretty cool. Once I get down, maybe lose a couple more percent. I'm not trying to go like super shredded, but I want to see how far this will take me, and then I'm gonna probably be pretty satisfied. I mean, I'm already satisfied. But I'm gonna go back to that higher protein and higher calorie consumption in general, and I'm just gonna start stacking on the power. So what I have right now is a 3-month progress, three and a quarter month progress with basically just working out at home. Now I did wanna mention water again, because I know a lot of people are getting confused with water on carnivore. Again, I don't eat 100% carnivore. I don't eat zero carb, straight up zero carb. I do basically do carb refeeds every 3 or 4 days, typically speaking. Guys, you know, I want to live a pretty balanced, normal life at the end of the day. I want to have I want to have 95% of the performance, 95% of the results, feel amazing. I want everything, and I don't want it to be super hard. And I imagine most of you guys want the same system. I don't want to just dive in and have my entire life be about just absolute perfection. That's not, that I have other things to do. So that's kind of what I'm building my entire system and lifestyle around. And when it really comes down to it, you don't need to put in 100% effort to get 90% of the results. And 90% of the results, I mean, shoot, you know, you ask the average person on the street if they want 90% of the results of like what Bobby's perspective has, and that's more than enough for most people. Especially if you can put in, you know, let's say half the effort or 60% of the effort or time or whatever. So yeah, let's talk about water. Yeah, if you're doing zero carb, water becomes an issue. Salt becomes an issue, electrolytes become an issue. If you're eating enough food, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're trying to throw an OMAD or something like that, you're gonna really struggle. And the situation with OMAD is that you're just so low on water reserves in your body that you no longer have electrolytes floating around. You're gonna have to start drinking salt water. That was the experience that I had with it, and it wasn't that fun. So again, guys, this is one of those no-brainer things that people make a big deal about. If you're thirsty, drink water. If you're not thirsty, don't drink water. What I see a lot of people doing, especially people coming from veganism, is they're so used to drinking like a gallon of water a day, or they got it bashed into their brain that they need to drink so much water that they're peeing clear 10 times a day. Wonder where you got that idea. That you're actually peeing out more electrolytes than you really need, and you are going to have to go and probably feel lightheaded and go and get some salt in your water to feel normal. And if you do feel lightheaded on a very low carb diet, then try that. Try the salt water. You'll probably feel better within a matter of minutes. Don't worry, it doesn't mean that the diet's not perfect. Probably means that you're just still adapting a little bit, and it's all good, man. That's just a little small price to pay for the other amazing benefits. So you got to sprinkle a little salt water in your a little salt in your water, sea salt in your water. Big deal. All right, and last thing I want to cover in this little walk and talk chat before I get back home and start eating that steak is I talk about insulin a lot. And insulin is everything, man. Insulin is everything. You kind of heard, if you tuned into that chat with me and Duran Rider the other day, we both kind of started talking about insulin, and he says that insulin is anabolic, and he's right. But it depends on what you're eating along with that insulin. If you are eating all carbs and fat, you're just gonna get fat. You're not gonna get anabolic in terms of muscle mass. And insulin in general, you want to keep it very low. There's no reason to keep insulin spiked all day long via eating a massive amount of food that will spike your blood sugar. And for that matter, also eating food in terms of frequency. Without getting into the crazy science of all this stuff, basically the more times of the day you eat, the more you're going to spike your insulin. Bottom line, it doesn't matter if you're eating fat, protein, or carbs, and in any combination of that. You want to keep your meal frequency to a minimum. You know, one meal a day in theory is like this perfect thing to do, but in practicality, it's very difficult to do. Very, very difficult to do, especially if you have performance on your mind. If you are obese, you know, whatever, 300 pounds, it can be a tool for you. These are all tools, you know what I'm saying? So if you're talking 2 meals a day, the diet becomes a lot more accessible. It's a lot easier to do that. And you can easily just pick up 2 meals a day right now, stick your eating window into a 6 to 8 hour window, and you're gonna get a nice little 16, 18 hour fast every single day. You're gonna start becoming more metabolically flexible, which is gonna allow you to eat carbohydrates and just stick that right into your glycogen tanks and not have your body burning carbohydrates and protein as its primary source of fuel. Instead, it's gonna be switching to fat, and you're gonna start seeing a lot more fat burning, which is what you freaking want, man. That's what everybody wants. I haven't seen results like I've gotten in the last 3 months in my entire life. Flat out in my entire life. I've been lifting weights and playing around in the gym for 15 years. It wasn't until I mastered the idea of intermittent fasting combined with high frequency training combined with high protein and low carbohydrate that I've seen these results. This is the very beginning, because when you get the combination right, the results are immediate and they're very, very dramatic, even if you're an ectomorph like myself. So I hope to talk more about this stuff. If you guys have questions, hit me up in the comments. This is what I give consultations about. I've been taking on clients. It's already started, and it's been great, dude. I've been kind of experimenting on you guys in private for free for a couple weeks, and so far so good. Everybody's been having pretty good results. There's a couple people, namely some people who are coming from very long-term fruitarian diets that are struggling a little bit. And man, I don't claim to have this thing nailed down perfectly, but this is all an experiment. I'm experimenting on myself. State-of-the-art shit, man. This is all new stuff. If you have all day to sit around on YouTube like I do and basically research the studies and research what everybody's saying, who's getting the results and who's fake and who's not, and calling people out and having these chats with them, you guys don't even understand, man. Like the YouTube game is a game. Like us people, like I'm a small-time YouTuber, right? But people know who I am. That's the weird part. And they reach out to me, and all of us are talking behind the scenes. You know, the vegans, the non-vegans, the carnivores, we're all talking, man. Everybody's pretty accessible on YouTube, you know? And unfortunately for the average viewer, they don't realize that all this stuff is going on, and they're taking it all very, very seriously. But really, I think we're all on the same team, even the psycho vegans that are the ethical ones, man, because some of these people change teams, and you know, one day they're ethical, one day they're not, and God bless them, man. I don't have an issue with any of these people. I don't have anything personal with anybody on YouTube. There's a couple people's personalities that bother me, but if I don't know them in real life, I'm not going to make that judgment call. And if I do know them in real life and they're being bitches on YouTube, then they're going to hear about it. All right, so this is the situation we got going on. We got some Montreal steak seasoning. Very simple. This is the 2-minute prep, guys. This is the prep that vegans wish that they had. Sprinkler on. Give it a little pat down. Okay, conventional steak, Crimey River. It's $5 a pound ribeyes. Can't beat that with a stick, and it is what it is. Alright guys, so when you put the steak on, you want to hear a heavy sizzle right away. If not, your grill is not hot enough. You hear that? That's what you want. Alright, so how I do it is I basically get the grill as hot as it can possibly go, or almost there. Depends on your grill. You're going to have to trial and error like everything else. Usually takes about 20 minutes to get the grill super hot. Throw the steak on there on one side. I give it about 2 or 3 minutes. Then I give it a flip. I do the same thing on the other side. And then from there on, I flip it about once every 30 seconds. And it creates a nice browning on the outside. And then you get a nice sort of medium red on the inside, which is what I prefer. Alright, it's been flipped once already. We're going to give it the cross. You should see the lines on there. That's how you know it's really hot. And we're going to keep flipping. pretends like he's sleeping while I'm cooking, and then when I go inside, he always comes inside. Clockwork. I know his tricks. Don't want to let the flame get it too much, but, you know, I like a little carcinogen. Why not? Within reason. Everything in moderation. Alright, steak's off the grill. We're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to pour up some of this raw milk that I get from Sprouts. And it is really good. Beef, what a relief. Exactly. The original mono meal right here. So this is perfect carnivore meal number 1. Pound of beef, milk. You eat this twice a day. It might not sound amazing, but you start to crave the beef a little bit more. I'm not saying I don't eat other stuff, but you want to talk about gains and performance and feeling good and optimal. This right here gives it to you. Guys, this raw milk is so good, like addictively good. If you haven't tried raw dairy, I really recommend trying it, especially in the absence of carbohydrates or any plant foods. I think that you would find that your body may handle it a lot better than you used to remember milk, whatever it used to do to you. It's so good. And I'm trying every brand at the health food store, all the organic brands, even some of the ultra pasteurized ones. The ultra pasteurized are too processed. They actually kill off all the bacteria inside, and it's actually gives you constipation in my experience. So especially if you're intermittent fasting or doing OMAD, you do not want to mess with the ultra pasteurized milk. The in-between ones are okay. The standard pasteurized organic, they're all right, but nothing comes to the quality, the taste, the digestion of the raw milk. Go late to the party? I know your tricks, buddy. I know your tricks. You want to come inside? Alright, fine. Alright, you know the routine. He knows the routine. Yeah, he lays down there. Alright, I'm a bitch, I know, I couldn't finish all of it. Definitely over a pound, but this guy's not complaining. Oh, really. Sit. He's drooling like crazy. Was it good? One more? Okay, hey, sit. Alright guys, we are back for the final meal. It's gonna be real short because I'm tired and it's late. It's already like 9:30. It's been about 7 hours since my last meal. I'm still keeping it within that 8-hour window, but I'll show you what we got for dinner. Alright, so we got this salmon, super simple setup. Literally just got the grill in the hottest heat, maxed out heat, right on foil, and it's really thick. It's about a pound, and it's got some herb crusted seasoning on there. I'm gonna let this chill for about 18 minutes, and then I'm gonna come out and grab it. Look at that, beautiful. Yes, he's here. He knows the food's here. This is the finished product. Of course, we got the milk. That's a wrap for the day, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're gonna eat this and call it. Peace.